Why did Quran chapter 2, verse 124, call some descendants of Abraham wrongdoers? Remember when Abraham was tested and appointed? At that time, Abraham had no children. And Hagar did not become the wife of Abraham. Still before even the descendants of Abraham were born, Allah prophesied that among Abraham's descendants, some would be wrongdoers. My question is, what was the crime of those descendants of Abraham? And when Abraham was tried by his Lord with commands, he fulfilled them. Allah said, "Indeed, I will make you a leader for the people." Abraham said, "And of my descendants?" Allah said, "My covenant does not include the wrongdoers." That was Quran chapter 2, verse 124. My question is, what was the crime of those descendants of Abraham that, even before they were born, they were labeled as wrongdoers? Whereas descendants of Adam were under the leadership of the appointed one named Shiva, alias Seth the Sivan the Pundian. Allah in the Quran calls the people of the first Pundian Sangam as. I read Quran chapter 17, verse 70. And we have certainly honored the children of Adam. The Kumari people under the Caliph Shiva, alias Seth, the Sivan, the Pundian. And carried them on the land and sea, provided for them of the good things, and preferred them over much of what we have created, with definite preference. The first official messenger for the bloodline of Cain was the comforter called Prophet Muhammad. But Allah stopped Prophet Muhammad from wasting time on the Caucasian settlers. Caucasian settlers are from the bloodline of Cain. Remember, only nations or people whose forefathers had no warners are the descendants of Cain. Quran, chapter 36, verses 6 to 11. That you, Muhammad, may warn a people whose forefathers were not warned, so they are unaware. Already, among Caucasian settlers, the word has come into effect for most of them, so they do not believe. Indeed, we have put shackles on their necks, and they are to their chins, so they are with heads kept aloft. And we have put before them a barrier and behind them a barrier and covered them, so they do not see. And it is all the same for them, Caucasian settlers, whether you, Muhammad, warn them or do not warn them, they will not believe. The question comes after reading the Quran, chapter 17, verse 70, where Allah reminds the Kumari that it has honored the children of Adam, the Kumari people, and preferred them over much of what we have created with preference. How were the children of Adam, the Kumari people, honored by God? Earth story is divided into two generations. Senior generation from Adam, where height and age were not the same as the junior generation, which came from Noah alias Murugan alias Marduk. Among the senior generation, there are two divisions. First group of the senior generation of Adam's children, Cain was cursed and banished from the cradle of civilization. No messengers came from the bloodline of Cain. Cain bloodline facing their ancestors' karma. Second group of the senior generation of Adam's children, Adam's third son, Shiva, alias Seth, the Sivan, the Pundian, was prophesied before the creation of Adam. Refer to Quran chapter 2, verse 30. Sivan bloodline, whom Allah has appointed as vicegerent of successive generations. Whom God has given authority over the earth, on Sivan bloodline. Lucifer the Dark Lord Kali Purusha has no authority over them. I read Quran chapter 15, verses 36 to 42. Verse 36. He, Lucifer, said, "My Lord, then reprieve me until the day they are resurrected." Lucifer wanted to become Dark Lord, immortal until the day of resurrection. Verse 37, 38, Allah said, "So indeed, you are of those reprieved. Until the day of the time well known." Allah accepted Lucifer's request and made him the Dark Lord, the Kali Purusha. Allah granted Lucifer's request to be immortal until the time well known. What is that time well known mentioned in the Quran? Time well known refers to the day when the Kulki comes. When the Kulki, the last Pundian comes, Lucifer is going to die. Verse 39 and 40. Lucifer said, "My Lord, because you have put me in error, I will surely make disobedience attractive to them on earth, and I will mislead them all. Except, among them, your chosen servants. Sivan the Pundian. Verse 41. Allah said, this is a path, which will be given to the appointed servant, whoever follows it leads, to me, that is, straight. Verse 42. Indeed, my servants, no authority will you have over them except those who follow you of the deviators. Remember, Pundian means the old mode of administration, which is through the Kumari clan, Kula Devam. Some Sivan descendants strayed from the old system of administration and introduced a new mode of administration for their selfish gain. Later, that new mode of administration was hijacked by Caucasian settlers, who introduced priestly class religious organizations. Those priests become the door to salvation. How did God honor the senior generation, the children of Adam? Let's read the Quran, chapter 7, verse 172, to find out how the children of Adam were honored. And, mention, when your Lord took from the children of Adam, from their loins, their descendants and made them testify of themselves, saying to them, Am I not your Lord? They said, Yes, we have testified. This, lest you should say on the day of resurrection, Indeed, we were of this unaware. This is how the children of Adam, the senior generation, were honored by God. Cain descendants are not included in this verse. Remember, from the senior generation Sivan bloodline, some got married to the junior generation of Noah alias Murugan descendants. Also from the Sivan bloodline, some got married to Abraham and Imran, and among their descendants. I read Quran chapter 3, verses 33 to 34. Indeed, Allah chose Adam and Noah and the family of Abraham and the family of Imran over the worlds. Descendants, of Sivan the Pundian, some of them from others. And Allah is hearing and knowing. Note, Noah alias Murugan is from the bloodline of Seth alias Shiva. When the Prophet Muhammad was stopped by God from wasting time on cursed headless people whose forefathers had no warners, as mentioned in Quran chapter 36 verses 1 to 11. The question arises, who is the official guide for bloodline of Cain? The official guide for bloodline of Cain is Imam Mahdi, alias Kulki. Here you are those invited to spend in the cause of Allah, but among you are those who withhold, out of greed. And whoever withholds only withholds, benefit, from himself, and Allah is the free of need, while you are the needy. And if you turn away, He will replace you with another people, then they will not be the likes of you. That was Quran chapter 47, verse 38. And if you turn away, He will replace you with another people, then they will not be like of you. Understand the difference between like people, as mentioned in Quran chapter 3 verse 34, and read Quran chapter 47 verse 38, another group. Remember, peace, balance, and unity was a part of culture of Kumari people. But due to selfishness and greed, they strayed from the straight path given by God to first Siddha Shiva, alias Seth the Sivan the Pundian. Kumari people were substituted by Abraham's descendants, and they came into power. The wrongdoer from the descendants of Abraham betrayed God and joined the Persian Empire. Peace, balance, and unity, now we can see in Europe the land of Cain. But because of Jew organizations' refugees, people who are circumcised, Europe is suffering. Regarding Kumari people, Quran chapter 11:48 says they will enjoy for a while then painful torment. Painful torment refers to the age of 4 beastly regimes, the age of Kali Parusha, Dark Lord. This age of Kali Parusha ends when the last Pundian Kulki comes. The Quran calls it the time well known in Quran chapter 15 verses 36 to 42. Quran chapter 11, verse 48 reminds about greater Kali Yugam. I read. It was said, O Noah, disembark in security from us and blessings upon you and upon nations, descending, from those with you. But other nations, of Kumari, we will grant enjoyment. Then there will touch them from us a painful punishment, greater Kali Yugam due to wrongdoer from descendants of Abraham who assisted Persians and gave them the religion of circumcised Judaism. Quran chapter 15 verses 36 to 38 tells the Kumari people when the painful torment ends. On the day when the last Pundian comes, Lucifer, the Dark Lord, will die. And Kumari people would once again enter the Sangam era. How does one identify the Jew who is the enemy of the Kumari people? Beware of the circumcised people.